so much for me, I cannot tell it all. Done so much for me, I cannot tell it all.
This is the news on OneTV network. I am Cephas Ugochukwu with the news this lovely day, and you're welcome to the news on your darling station OneTV network from the city of Port Harcourt, Rivers State, Nigeria. First, the headlines. President Muhammadu Buhari directs members of Federal Executive Council running for elective offices to resign before Monday, 16th of May 2022. The People's Democratic Party accuses APC of stealing government funds for elections. Appeal Court sets aside judgment voiding Section 84(12) of Electoral Act 2022. India relaxes environment rules for coal mines and citing heat wave. The news in details. The case of PDP governorship aspirant Farah Dagogo has again stayed at the High Court in Port Harcourt following his absence in court. Correspondent reports that Farah Dagogo is expected to take his plea at the High Court but was absent. When the case was mentioned, Femi Adegbiti, counsel to Farah Dagogo, informed the court that his client would not make it to the court on e-health. The presiding judge, Justice Chiwendu Nwogo, after listening to counsel, adjourned the case to the 16th of May 2022 for proper plea to be taken. Speaking to journalists outside the courtroom, Attorney General and Minister for Justice, Rivers State, Professor Zaccheaus Adango, said on the next adjourned date, Farah is expected to be in court and take his plea. The Rivers State Commissioner of Police, CP Friday Eboka, says the command will not hesitate to take appropriate action against the DPO of Akpajo Police Station, Emmanuel Ifani, who allegedly assaulted a feeder member alongside social welfare officer and a complainant, seized their phones, detained them for 4 hours and threatened to deal with them. CP Eboka condemned the DPO actions when the executive members of FIDA Rivers State, led by its chairman Adata Bio Briggs, visited his office at the police headquarters, Moscow Road, Port Harcourt, to register their displeasure on the inhumane act exhibited by the officer in respect to a newborn baby found abandoned in a church at Akpajo Eleme. The Commissioner of Police, however, apologized to FIDA while assuring them that such act will not repeat again among his officers. Such since they started working in collaboration with the police. Residents and business owners in Port Harcourt have lamented the hike in food prices in Rivers State and across Nigeria. World Bank had said that the disruptions of food supply chain caused by the pandemic translated to an increase in price of food items in Nigeria. However, OneTV visited the markets in Port Harcourt to interact with the traders. President Muhammadu Buhari has ordered all ministers with political ambitions to resign their appointments on or before Monday, the 16th day of May 2022. Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed, announced this to State House correspondents after the weekly visual Federal Executive Council meeting at the Presidential Villa, Abuja. Asked if the directive would be extended to other federal appointees outside the cabinet, like the Central Bank Governor Godwin Emefiele, who may join the presidential race, Mohammed said only ministers are asked to resign as of now. Those affected are Minister of Transportation Rotimi Amechi, Minister of Niger Delta Godswill Akpabio, Minister of Labour and Employment Chris Ngige, Minister of Science, Technology and Innovation Ogbonnaya Onu, Minister of State for Education Emeka Nwajoba, Minister for State for Petroleum Resources Timi Silva, all of whom have joined the presidential race on a platform of the All Progressives Congress APC. Others are the Justice and Attorney General of the Federation Abubakar Malami, Minister of State for Mines and Steel Uche Oga, who is running for governorship position in Cross River State, Minister of Women Affairs Pauline Tallen, who declared her ambition to contest for a senatorial seat in Plateau State. Minister of State for Education Emeka Nwajoba has tendered his resignation. This was confirmed as President Muhammadu Buhari ordered all cabinet members interested in contesting the 2023 general elections to quit his government. The development made Buhari excited as he also singled the minister out for braving the odds to quit. The Minister of State for Education, Nwajoba, had picked the expression of interest and nomination forms from the All Progressives Congress APC to contest for the presidency at a cost of 100 million naira. Ex-media aide to former President Goodluck Jonathan has commended President Muhammadu Buhari for directing all ministers vying for any elective office in 2023 to resign. That the likes of Rotimi Amechi, Ogbonnaya Onu, Emeka Nwajoba, Chris Ngige, Abubakar Malami, and Timi Priye, who have declared their presidential ambition to resign before Monday, 16th of May. Reacting, Omokri urged Buhari to also order Central Bank of Nigeria Governor Godwin Emefiele to resign. Meanwhile, the People's Democratic Party (PDP) has accused the Muhammadu Buhari presidency of allowing the alleged mass looting of public funds to corruptly create a war chest for the APC to intimidate Nigerians and muzzle the 2023 general elections. The PDP, in a statement, claimed that the All Progressive Congress is diverting public funds made for development purposes and salaries of workers to its coffers by orchestrating spokesman Debo Ologunagba asserted that the party has information on how public funds are being withdrawn from ministries, agencies, and parastatals of government and diverted to people who have no viable means of livelihood to purchase APC's presidential nomination and expression of interest forms, any electoral value, who cannot even win local government elections. Away from that, the All Progressives Congress has extended the deadline for the sale of its expression of interest and nomination forms. APC extended the deadline to May 12, 2022 and directed that all aspirants who have submitted their forms will be screened on Saturday and Sunday. It also disclosed that aspirants who have obtained the nomination forms have until Friday to submit them. The party gave Salah holidays as a reason for the delays in the purchase and submission of forms. You are watching the news on OneTV. The news returns after this break. Stay tuned. Welcome back. You are still watching the news on OneTV network. The Court of Appeal cited the judgment of the Federal High Court in Umuahia, which voided the provision of Section 84, Article 12 of the Electoral Act 2022. In a judgment in Abuja, a three-member panel of the court, headed by Justice Hama Akawu, had no jurisdiction, lacked the local standing to have filed the suit in the first place. The appellate court added that Edede did not establish any case of action to have warranted his approaching the court on the issue because he did not establish that he was directly affected by the provision. While determining the appeal on the merits, the appellate court, however, held that the provision is unconstitutional because it violates Section 42, Article 1A of the Constitution and denied a class of Nigerian citizens their right to participate in elections. The Senate has received the nomination of Senator Danjuma La of Kaduna South as the new Deputy Minority Whip of the Senate from the People's Democratic Party. Last nomination was contained in a letter addressed to the Senate President Ahmed Lawan and read at the start of the plenary. The letter was signed by the National Secretary of the PDP, Senator Samuel Anyanwu. Anyanwu explained in the letter that the nomination of Senator La was against the backdrop of the recent defection of the former Minority Whip, Senator Ibrahim Abdullahi Dambaba of Sokoto South. Senator George Thompson Sekibo of PDP Rivers East, while coming under Order 1B, lamented the defection of PDP senators who occupied the deputy whip position. Two senators, Senators Emmanuel Baucha and Ibrahim Dambaba, both of the opposition party and last predecessors, resigned their membership of the PDP and defected to the APC. Ruling on Sekibo's point of order, the Senate President Ahmed Lawan ruled him out of order, saying that this observation was not in line with the provisions of Order 1B of the Senate Standing Orders 2022 as amended. He, however, urged the new Deputy Minority Whip to perform his functions to bring about stability and productivity to the Senate. The Senate has amended the Electoral Act 2022 to allow statutory delegates to participate and vote in party conventions, congresses, and meetings. The Deputy Senate President, Agege, sponsored the legislation that saw lawmakers amend Section 84(8) of the Electoral Act, which initially allowed only elected delegates of a party to participate in conventions and congresses. In his lead argument, Omo Agege said the amendment seeks to make provision for those who said that the initial provision of the bill was an error on the part of the legislature. In accordance with Omo Agege's presentation, Senator Uche Ekwunife said the amendment was a straightforward one. Senator Ekwunife added that without this amendment, most of us will not have the liberty of voting during the convention. I support the amendment. Let us have it for second reading. The House of Representatives has passed an amendment to the Electoral Act 2022 to enable statutory delegates to participate in political parties. The ex-military men served directly under Buhari and when he was in the military, saying he was sure that their former boss was not aware of their plights. The Academic Staff Union of Universities said there is no going back on its decision to continue with its ongoing strike following the federal government's failure to honor the 2009 agreement. ASUU President Professor Emmanuel Osodeke said this in an interview with the News Agency of Nigeria on Wednesday in Abuja. Osodeke said the union took the difficult decision after exhausting all avenues available to amicably settle the matter with the federal government. Recall that ASUU on Monday extended its rollover strike, which started on February 14, by another 12 weeks. The Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Farouk Yahaya, has called on retired officers of the Nigerian Army to feel free to offer opinions and suggestions that could be of benefit in ongoing operations to tackle insecurity in the country. General Yahaya made a clarion call at the Combat Arms Training Week 2022 with the theme Effective Combat Arms Maneuver, Panakia for Success in Battle. While declaring the event open, the Chief of Army Staff stated that combat arms are key to the operational activities of the Army, adding that Nigerian Army operations revolve around the combat arms. He noted that a lot of operational successes are being achieved in the various theaters of operations through there may be some isolated incidents. The Chief of Army Staff explains that training is key to human development, performance, and productivity. He maintained that the NA will continue to partner with all relevant stakeholders to sustain training and build the capacity of personnel to enhance efficiency. Palpable tension and anxiety has enveloped Omagara village in Alulu Autonomous Community in Ngopala Council area of Imo State following the killing of a woman at her farm. The victim, Omonwadi village in Alulu Autonomous Community, but married to Nwankwoji Oke of Omagara village, was on Sunday evening murdered and later buried by her assailant, who subsequently buried her in her own indigenous farmland. A source in the village who preferred anonymity told newsmen that the community was thrown into confusion last Sunday evening when the deceased was found in a shallow grave in her own village farmland. Dreams of Governor Dairus Dixkin Eshaku of Taraba State curbing bandit activities have been frustrated as the commanding officer of the 92 Battalion of the Nigerian Army was allegedly kidnapped by unknown gunmen. 6 soldiers and 1 mobile police personnel were also confirmed to have been killed in the incident that occurred on Tuesday at Takum local government area of the state. Confirming the incident to newsmen, the state police public relations officer Abdullahi Usman said the commanding officer was missing in a joint operation that was carried out by the joint forces. Apart from the missing commandant, 6 soldiers and 1 mobile police personnel, as made known by him, were killed by the terrorists. You are watching the news on OneTV network. The news returns after this break. Stay tuned.
Oh baby, you're my reason.
Welcome back. You are still watching OneTV Network News this lovely evening. In the business, the group managing director of the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, Male Kyari, has finally appeared before the House of Representatives Ad hoc Committee on the state of the refineries in Nigeria. However, Kyari could not answer some of the critical questions posed to him by members of the committee, urging the lawmakers to allow him to come back with documents containing the details. The details sought by the lawmakers include the actual cost of rehabilitating the refineries, especially the Port Harcourt Refining Company. Kyari also noted that the refineries were shut down as the country was running at a loss using them. He also said the NNPC shopped for the best of class contractors to rehabilitate the facilities. A new report by the Nigerian Economic Summit Group and the Open Society Initiative for West Africa has disclosed that Nigeria and 10 other economic community of West African states countries are currently in debt distress based on debt sustainability analysis. The 10 other countries are Benin Republic, Burkina Faso, Cape Verde, the Gambian, Ghana, Guinea-Bissau, Liberia, Niger, Senegal, and Togo. The report titled Debt Management, Restricting and Sustainability in ECOWAS was recently launched at the Debt Management Office in Abuja. According to the report, a financial crisis in Nigeria can threaten other countries in ECOWAS region. Now to the foreign scene. A Senegalese court has handed 6-month suspended terms to 3 midwives in a high-profile case of a mother-to-be who died in agony after pleading for hours to be given a cesarean. The 3 were found guilty of the charge of failing to assist someone in danger, while 3 of their colleagues were acquitted. The case involved Atu Sukna, a woman aged in her 30s who was in her 9th month of pregnancy. According to local media, she was admitted in pain to a public hospital in the northern town of Logua, begging to be given a cesarean section. The staff refused, arguing that the operation had not been scheduled and even threatening to remove her from the hospital if she continued with her demand, the report said. According to these reports, she died in agony on the night of April 1 after suffering for around 20 hours. India has relaxed environmental compliance rule for coal mines seeking to ramp up production as power outages exhibit a sweltering heat wave. Coal makes up more than 2/3 of India's energy needs, even as unseasonable hot weather illustrates the threat from climate change caused by burning fossil fuels. In a letter, the Environment Ministry said it has allowed a special dispensation to the Ministry of Coal to relax certain requirements like public consultations, so mines could operate at increased capacities. The relaxation comes after it received a request from the Ministry of Coal stating that there is huge pressure on domestic coal supply in the country and all the efforts are being made to meet the demands of coal for all sectors. It may interest you to note that coal mining projects previously cleared to operate at 40% capacity may now increase capacity to 50% without undertaking fresh environment impact studies. Now on sports. In sports, UEFA says the European Champions League will see an increase of 4 teams to 36 and the present group stage replaced by one single league from the 2024-2025 season. The revamp of European football's Premier Club competitions will see each team play 8 league games, 4 home and 4 away, as opposed to 6 in the group stage. It said the top 8 sides in the league will qualify automatically for the knockout stage, while the teams finishing in 9th to 24th place will compete in a two-legged playoff to secure their path to the last 16 of the competition. And wonderful viewers, and this is the news for now. Before we go, let's take a quick look on the headlines and the top stories once again. President Muhammadu Buhari has directed members of Federal Executive Council running for elective offices to resign on or before Monday, 16th of May 2022. People's Democratic Party has accused APC of stealing government funds for elections. Appeal Court has set aside judgment voiding Section 8412 of Electoral Act 2022, and also brought you the news that India has relaxed environment rules for coal mines and citing heat waves. And this is the package we have for you at this point in time. Join us again for more news coming your way. I remain Cephas Ugochukwu. Do enjoy the rest of the day. Bye for now.